And Mr. Putin will never, as a matter of fact, never want that a nation comes out to be powerful in terms of economic democracy that will challenge the credential of the Russian political system dominated by oligarchs, of which Putin is the leader. And Putin himself, as he wants to gain or getting Russia back into that glorified era of USSR, as it is a dream he is selling to his people that he will make Russia great again. Just Trump sold the dream of make America great again. And as a pawn, if you are not powerful, if you are not economically, military powerful, you have to suffer. And India suffers and suffered to some extent, to a great extent in history. Now, Russia is under heavy sanction imposed by America. Though it is bypassing those things, but it is in under heavy sanction. It cannot sell so many things. It is full of minerals, oil, natural gas, but it cannot sell openly in international market. And Russia makes Ukraine as a bargaining point by proving that Western power cannot help any other nation. So he is challenging the credential of America and its NATO allies. And by doing so, he wants to bargain so that the sanctions which is imposed upon Russia is being lifted. If you are weak and you live in between two powerful people, you have to suffer. Right? So this is the same thing happening over there. But there is another twist to the story. Why all of a sudden Ukraine is at war with Russia? Though it is, we may seem that it is all of a sudden, but it is not so. In 2014, Russia, through a forced plebiscite, separated or cut Crimea from Ukraine. There is also security concern because Crimea was the naval base of USSR, where mainly Russian ethnic people lives. And after this Crimea, when Russia cut the Crimea off Ukraine, no global power was with Ukraine. So we must also challenge the credential of America and its allies. And there is a saying in international politics, you may believe a snake that it will not bite, but you must not believe America as a friend. And let me also put one important phrase which political scientists use in case of international politics, that there is no permanent friend, only permanent interest. If suppose Ukraine was a very powerful economically nation having a strong economic relationship with mainland Europe and America was bound to help Ukraine directly so that he can resist the Russian military threat. But it is not happening so far. Now, there is Russia also the energy powerhouse of Europe. It sells almost European Unions, those 28 countries. Almost 60% of European Union's energy demands is fulfilled by Russian oil and gas, which passes through Ukraine earlier. Now, there is a Nord Stream 2 pipeline which goes through from Moscow to through Baltic Sea and reaches Germany, thus bypassing Ukraine. As it is bypasses Ukraine is going to lose or already losing a huge chunk of revenue. Earlier it was 40% of the total revenue, but it cannot now depend on that thing. It is also economic losses. If your friend is not benefiting you, if someone is not a friend with benefit, he will never be friend after some extent. So the same thing is happening. And under this situation, Ukraine want to diversify its relationship with the world, but here Russia, the big boss, which is not letting it do so. And it has its weapon. Those people, Russian ethnic people in Ukraine, Russia has always been arming them, so that there is a instability within Ukraine, and only a Russian puppet government rules in Ukraine. And also there is Estonia, Slovakia, Poland and Finland. Estonia, Slovakia, Poland and Finland, of which 70% energy demand is fulfilled by Russia only. So Russia is not a force to be avoided. It should be taken, should be dealt with, taken care of carefully.